Me F34 and my fiance, M36 got engaged 2 months ago. I own the house we currently live in, but after he moved in he started helping out with the mortgage payment. I have a daughter, Ruby, F12. She adores animals. She had about 7 pets so far in her life. Unfortunately, her dog Tick passed away. He was her closest friend and favorite pet. It was devastating for me as well, because he was so precious. As a way to honor him, I've printed a middle-sized picture of him, Ruby's favorite, and put it in a frame, and hanged the frame in the living room wall. Ruby was so happy with it, especially since she gets to see him smiling at her when she walks in. It gives her comfort. My fiance saw it and got upset. He commented on how strange it was to have the dog's picture up on the wall, and how much of distraction it brings. I felt puzzled, because we have all kinds of pictures that were hanging on that wall. He suggested we remove it, but I ignored him. One day, I got home and saw that he's taken it down. Ruby was in her room crying holding the picture. I asked what happened, and she told me that my fiance took the picture off and told her she's not allowed to have it hung up there. Also told her to keep it in her room if she didn't want to lose it for good. I was shocked. I rushed out and immediately started taking down all the certificates he had on that wall. His doctorate, master's and bachelor's degrees, and about 4 to 5 other certificates as well. All of them I took down and put in the bedroom. He discovered what I did and snapped at me and said that it's his house as well and I should respect his input. In my defense, I told him that since my daughter has to keep it in her room, then he too has to keep his certificates in his room. According to his logic, he yelled at me demanding that I stop nagging him and acting childishly and spitefully. He wanted to put them back up, but I refused and said that if he does that, then Tick's picture will be put back up as well. He yelled about how I disrespected him and his achievements and treated them as trash, and then stormed out. He's been giving both me and Ruby the cold shoulder for days now, saying he outspeak to neither of us till we apologize and put those certificates back up on the wall ourselves. Respect his input. So, do as he says. NTA. I don't know why he said this and what it's supposed to mean, but it bothered me when I heard it. Who puts their certificates up in the living room? In a study or office? Yes. Living room? No. NTA. My PhD is in an envelope in a pile next to my desk. That's good enough. NTA. However, if you sweep this incident under the rug, you will be the R. When you have a kid, you have a huge responsibility to who you invite into your home and potentially be part of that kid's life. That was what caught my attention. Anyone who thinks their degrees and certificates belong on the wall of a home, but not a picture of a loved pet, has a serious issue. NTA. He took a picture of your grieving child's dog, threatened her, told you that your house is also his, yelled at you, and demanded an apology. If you marry this abusive man, you and your daughter are going to have a miserable life. Exactly. He's shown her who he is. It's time she makes a decision and drops this miserable man out of her life. Wait, hold up. He displayed his certificates on a common area wall in the house, so anyone walking in gets to read up on his accomplishments? And then a picture of your daughter's dog was mounted in the same area, and that galvanized him into action? Shouldn't his certificates be hung in his office? Or, better yet, filed in some box in the attic? This screams ego-driven to me. Thank you. Who the hell hangs their degrees on the wall of their home? At work? Sure. But at home? That's weird and definitely egotistical. Especially for someone who reacts to a pet's picture with such hostility. This is so concerning. He took down the picture and threatened a 12-year-old that she lose it permanently if she didn't keep it in her room rather than on the wall in a common area in her own house. If this is indicative of the way he is with her when you're not around, then I'd boot him out of your life as soon as possible. Speak to Ruby and have a heart-to-heart. Ask her what he's like when you're not there, because this story is waving a whole bunch of red flags. NTA for trying to make a point, but there seems to be a much bigger issue going on. He took down the picture and threatened a 12-year-old that she lose it permanently if she didn't keep it in her room rather than on the wall in a common area in her own house. 1000% this. Why is he more entitled to common wall space than she is? NTA for taking down his certificates, but YWBTA if you stay with a man who literally threatened a 12-year-old child to throw away a picture of a recently deceased animal. This sub is always talking about red flags, but it's honestly usually justified. This is another one of those cases. NTA. He threatened your daughter with a permanent loss of something precious to her. He overstepped and he waited till you weren't home to do it, so you couldn't stop him. That would be a deal breaker for me. No one mistreats my kid or overrules my parenting. Out the fucking door he needs to go. Your daughter needs to come first. This type of thing will only get worse if you continue the relationship. Info, and just out of curiosity, how did the dog pass away? Is the dude feeling guilty about something? Why is he so bothered by a picture of your beloved dog? I don't know you, or what you look like, but I could actually picture you saying out the fucking door you go. I'm laughing my asterisk of right now. Print off more pictures of the dog, and for every day he continues to sulk, hang one more dog picture, where his certificates once were. You are NTA. I have printed several small ones to put in her room. That was before we put the big one on the wall. She even has tiny ones that she keeps with her to use in a necklace which will be done soon. NTA. This man is controlling and abusive. He needs to go away. That's exactly why he started paying the mortgage, so he can pull the "this is my house" card when his name isn't on shit. Don't marry this man. It will only get worse. Opus. Info. Are you still marrying your daughter's bully? Do you have a prenup? Do you accept your daughter feeling unsafe forever in her own home going forward? Do you condone silent treatment as punishment and find that healthy? Replying BC. I also want to know. NTA. He doesn't want equal say, he wants a dictatorship. It's clear that he will continue to hurt your daughter behind your back. I would reevaluate my relationship. He told me it's his house too now, so he should be able to have a say in it. I find this illogical, because he's only paid a 2 months worth of mortgage, unlike me who put all my savings and sold important items to be able to get this house. NTA. He has his certificates and degrees displayed in your living room, 8 different items. Am I reading this right? Does he agree with anything being on the walls, but ego boosters for him? It sounds like it's just a shrine to him. And who the heck puts up all their certificates in common areas? Let alone in a house they don't own. The man is clearly a narcissist in addition to being a controlling and abusive although I think it's a suggestion that is often overused in this sub. Op really should not get married to this controlling man who will just get worse when married. NTA. Is he so insecure that he feels a picture of a dog will take the focus off of his precious degrees? Or is he controlling and is starting to show his true colors? Having all of the frames removed from the living room and put into respective rooms was my suggestion, until I came to that part of your story. Your daughter is as much part of this house and family as he is, if not more. Asterisk IT apostrophe S her house too, and he should respect her input. Take a good look at how this man treats your daughter, threatening to destroy the picture, and how he handles disagreements, and think long and hard about if you want to continue on your way to marriage with him. NTA. This dude contributes to the mortgage a couple of times and thinks he's what? Man of the house. This is the start of controlling behavior, and if you're okay with a grown man acting like a child, causing emotional distress and trauma to an actual child, then you're in for a very long and painful ride. This dude needs therapy and you need to protect your daughter. Also, he has lots of degrees. Let's not forget that. He's extremely full of himself. Good lord. Who puts their certificates on the living room wall? A very small-minded egotist, that's who. In a professional office? Sure. In a home? Hell no. In someone else's home? Gtfo. NTA. Right. I needed my diploma to apply for a job and I couldn't even find it. This is so weird and a big red flag. NTA. It's lucky he is only your fiance. Are you sure you want to marry him? Why do you let him bully your daughter and have so much control in the house you own? Dump him. He is showing his true colors. It will only get worse. Protect your daughter and yourself. NTA. NTA. But you need to reevaluate your relationship. The dog picture was his mask slipping because he's getting comfortable. You need to talk to your daughter privately and ask her if he's done anything else. He's showing a lot of questionable behavior, like slam the brakes on anything moving forward and address the situation questionable. This sub is full of the aftermath of shitty parenting and terrible step parents. If you don't address this, you are basically giving him the green light to continue to treat your daughter like this, and it will only get worse if you marry him. NTA, he just gave you a preview of what an asshole he is. If you value your daughter, get rid of him. NTA. People who aren't dog people don't understand the role dogs play in our lives. To me, it makes sense to have a photo of your dog on the wall. I don't know about the certificates, but your daughter definitely deserves the dog photo on the wall. I'm confused by his whole "it's distracting." How is a picture of a dog distracting? We have pictures on my mum's wall of all our past and current pets. 4 cats and the current dogs. It's only like having pictures of your family members up. NTA. Sounds like he's displaying really big red flags you shouldn't ignore. The fact he wants his opinions and feelings respected, but doesn't care about yours is a big glaring neon sign of badass **** to come. NTA. Kick that excuse of a man out of your house. Just cause he paid rent doesn't mean he owns the apartment. 4 having certificates hair's not that bright. NTA. Don't marry this guy. He's okay with unilaterally taking a gift you have your daughter, threatening her, and then snaking at you if he gets pushback on his actions. He's upset her picture would distract from his wall of accomplishments. He's literally jealous, if a dead dog, and expects you to apologize for having a different opinion on decor. Be done with this relationship. Trust people when they show you who they are. You mean ex-fiancé, right? Ain't no damn way I would let a man bully my child. He and his accomplishments would be in a trash pile. Do you really think this is a good partnership? It's your house and your daughter. Don't do this. You will regret it. This guy sounds too fucking stupid to have more degrees than a thermometer. Wipe your asterisk of him and move on with your life. Tell him to take his degrees and off back to where he came from. You can do better. And get your daughter another dog. Wow, for someone so seemingly educated, he surely is acting like a child, giving you all the cold shoulder. It is Ruber's home too, and he needs to respect that or get lost. Good on you for being on your daughter's side for this. NTA. NTA. Are there other ways this man tries to exercise control over you like this? NTA. Your daughter should also have right to some space on the wall to hang stuff, and if it's Tick's picture, so be it, if that's what is important to her. RN. I don't see how much distraction can a picture of a dog bring to an adult man. It distracts from his accomplishments by being on the same wall. He sounds like a narcissist, or at the very least an extremely vain asshole.